Welcome back to the Adventures of Mac Anthea and part 1 of our 2024 Northern Spain adventure. You join us as we leave our home in the Amanthora Valley and travel north to escape the summer heat of the Andalusian summer. There are various routes you can take from where we live to travel up to northern Spain, and as usual opinions vary greatly to which is the better route. We personally prefer to travel west out of the end of the Amanthora Valley across to Baza, where we join the motorway up to Granada, and then from Granada through Jaén up to Madrid. The reason we prefer this route is when we travel west first thing in the morning, the sun is on our backs, and then by the time we turn north, the sun is on our backs again. Additionally, this route is a lot quieter, with less commercial traffic and much more beautiful and varied scenery. So here we are at our first planned destination. Good morning and welcome back to the Adventures of Mac Anthea and part 1 and day 1 of our Northern Spain adventure 2024. So we're at our first park up, a planned park up this time, which was an unplanned park up last year, but it was so good, so quiet, got such a decent night's sleep, probably the best night's sleep we got in the entire 3 weeks, that we decided to come here again. And despite there being a festival on in the village, was about 1 kilometre away, and you know, a bit of additional traffic on this road, it was still pretty quiet here. We got a good night's sleep. So yep, no problems there. We've woken up refreshed, and now we're going to go for a little walk around the ponds here to blow the cobwebs out before we move on. So this spot here is called the Pedena de Rincon. I'll write it in the description actually on the screen as well. This is quite away from the motorway, and it is a bit of a trek to get to, but it's sort of the extremes you have to do to get a decent night's sleep sometimes. Obviously, the more difficult it is to get to, the harder it is for other motorhomes to get to, and they're less likely to crowd you in or turn up at 11:30 at night and wake you up when you're already asleep, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're the only ones here looking on the notes. It is actually on park for the night, looking on notes. I can only ever see 2 other people been here. One complained something about a stone being thrown at them, and the other one said they had a really good night's sleep. But it's windy road, sort of 12 kilometres from the motorway, so it's far enough in to get away. Good for security, obviously. You know, the closer you park to the motorway, and the more camper vans that are parked around you, the more likely there is to be sort of a security hazard there. But it's far enough in to get not disturbed, nobody bother you, nothing like that. I should actually put a marker on where it is in the description below. As you can see, it's a really beautiful spot here. Anthea's noticed there's no birds this time. There's a lot of duck she was photographing last time, but now they seem to have gone completely. Yeah, maybe you go on a swim in that. Yeah, kayaking, you could just be small for kayaking, yeah.
Let's go round.
Yeah, go round in a circle, I suppose, yeah. Always going round in circles anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Nothing new there. Okay, so we're going to carry on a bit further around. So this year's northern trip's going to be a little bit different and the same in some ways. Obviously, we revisited here, but this year we plan to do things a bit different. We're going to start a bit further sort of northwest towards France as we get the coast and work our way along from there, but we will not be including the west this year. A lot of people like the west of the coast. I wasn't that impressed with it. Along the north, there's a hell of a lot of good motorhome service points, sort of at some places every 20 kilometres along, which is well handy. We couldn't find a lot on the west coast, so it sort of limits you how long you can stay in a place before you need to go and sort of service your motorhome, get more water and that sort of thing. So that was a sort of a minus against it. And even though it's quite attractive, the sea was quite rough a lot of the time, so you weren't going to go swimming in it or kayaking in it. So yeah, we sort of thought we'll give that a miss because we just basically enjoyed the north far more. The northern coast much more than we did the western coast. So we'll probably go, and certainly won't be going as far as Corunna anyway, up on the tip there, before we start turning back in. Now, like I say, we will be revisiting some places. We'll be revisiting a place called Proaza. We'll be doing a bicycle ride down there on the Senderoso, but we're going to attempt to do both sections of it at the same time, and go on a weekday rather than a weekend, so we can actually get the drone out and do a much better job of it. It certainly deserves that. You know, a better job done of it this time round. And also then there's other things that we didn't do there. There was an excellent walk there that we want to do, which I went round on a bicycle, which was a bad idea. And yeah, we're going to have a go at that as well. and various other bits and bobs down there. Other than that, I think we're going to be visiting new places. I've done a lot of research, all different places all along, following the coast and inland, and we're going to be visiting some of them. This time it's going to be a lot more leisurely. I'm not going to feel under pressure to get around it all. If we like a place and it's better we think it is, we'll stay longer. If we don't like a place and it's not as good as we thought it was going to be, then we'll leave early. And we're just going to relax and take our time. And if we don't get everything in, we don't, then we don't. Don't want to put myself under pressure. Another thing we're going to be doing as well is being a lot more careful with our park-ups. Other people, inconsiderate people, in my opinion, didn't ruin it completely, but made it a lot less enjoyable than it did. And we got to the point in the end where we were so tired through lack of sleep, we decided to go home early, amongst other things. So yeah, a lot more careful with park-ups. We'll be going to sort of park-ups that probably aren't quite as beautiful as some of them, aren't going to give us that Instagram moment out the back of the thing. But that's what everybody wants, that Instagram moment. And a lot of them turn up at 11:30 at night to get it. So yeah, we're going to be giving those sort of coastal park-ups a miss, more in favour of these sort of inland park-ups here. So in a minute we're going to get back to the motorhome and we're going to get packed up and ready to move on. We're not going far today. We had sort of planned to actually go and visit a town near here, because in spite of it, if it does get a bit too hot, you must visit it, because it's an old medieval town. Most of the battlements, everything still intact, and it's actually got the bend of the river actually as part of the defences on one side, so it looks pretty impressive. And I don't want to go through here again and not look at it. But it is quite a windy road back to this town, which is near the motorway, and we're thinking we're going to go a bit deeper in and a bit higher up. Now, the weather will only change by sort of 2 degrees, but as we all know, 2 degrees could be the difference between being comfortable and uncomfortable. So I think we're going to go a bit further in, a bit further up into the mountains. There's quite a few walks marked up there as well, and things like that. And we'll probably no doubt find some bike rides and go and check that out before we actually leave this area. And then on the way out of leaving this area, probably tomorrow or even the next day, we shall check out that medieval town. Okay, so that's our quick walk around the pond. We're going to get on and move on along a bit further along the route here to this next destination. We'll bring you along, and we're going to stick you on this little bracket here on the front that we're trying out on time lapse. So you can see the route up there. Should be quite interesting. It's quite beautiful, windy country roads. Okay then, so we're going to get on our way. Okay, so welcome back. We've made it to our final park up. We tried one other place. It was quite nice, but still one that struck on it. And we finally ended up what you can see in the background here. We're in the village of Laua, population of 65 people. So hopefully it should be a nice quiet park up tonight. So we're just going to go and check out the walk that we're thinking of going on tomorrow. So in a minute I'll just spin you around and we'll take a walk to try and find the start of that. So here we go, we're walking down, and apparently down this route here, somewhere down here is the start of this walk, which is meant to be up to an old watermill. So it looks like we've got some signs up here on the right. We're looking for the El Molino, the mill one. Can't see where that's going to start. Tomorrow is going to be about 2 degrees cooler than today, 26 degrees, high of 26 degrees, so could be a good place to walk. Right, neither of those then. Okay, so we're looking like we've got 3 routes here. 3, 4, and the Senda del Molino, the blue route. Looking at the map here, it's looking like we've got to go up to the sort of the church and sort of around. So we're just going to have a quick recce out. We're obviously not going to do it today or this evening, but just suss it out ready for the morning so we know what we're doing. See the church anywhere?
No.
Oh, there's a cross on the top there.
Trust me.
Anthea was right. She's doing well today. She's been right quite a lot today and had some really good ideas as well.
It won't last.
Oh, this is lovely down here. This looks like it. Lino or Lino. It's meant to be a 12-kilometre walk. No, actually it says here 5 kilometres. That sounds just right for us. So tomorrow morning it looks like we'll be coming down and we'll be going down to there. That'll be the start of the walk. Yeah. All here, all in the park.
Ready to watch football?
Yeah, get ready to watch Spain beat England. Okay, so we're coming back up to the park up. We've had a lot of motorcycles go by today and some sort of prestige cars and things like that, but you've got to bear in mind it's Sunday and this road, you can see it all the way up there, these windy roads for the mountains all the way through here, and you could do a big loop sort of around through these villages, so it's basically motorcycle heaven, you know, going around all that. So I'm thinking tomorrow, Monday morning, it's going to be cooler. There's going to be no noise. Hopefully we'll get a good night's sleep. It even looks like our temporary navy came for a few minutes. He decided to move on somewhere else, which is great. We'll have the place to ourselves. Good morning and welcome back. It's the next day after our little recce patrol to suss out this walk to the watermill. We had a great night's sleep. And so we left the motorhome and started our descent again, down to the church, and then started the trail to the watermill. The trail was really quite demanding in places and you really had to watch where you placed your feet, but it was still very, very enjoyable. We made our descent down the pathway, down the edge of the gully and to the stream. The stream was really beautiful and ran through open pasture and shaded woodland. We took our chairs along with us, along with a pack up, and stopped in the pasture under a tree next to the stream. Things were going well and we was really enjoying the walk, so of course it was time for us to get lost and start scrambling up rock faces and through brambles. But eventually we managed to get back on track, although I don't think it's probably the intended route, and made our way back to the motorhome. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the walk. Anthea's gone inside. We're both pretty tired of that. This was such a good walk. I've made a full-length video of it, and later on, probably a couple of weeks time, I shall link it to the end of this video once I've had time to edit it. Good morning and welcome back to day 3 of our Northern Spain Adventure 2024. We're still in the little village of Iruela, our second night of a park up, as you can see behind us here. This has been a great park up. It's super quiet. I mean, I've never known a place so quiet, you know, overnight in my life. I mean, you actually strain your hearing to actually hear anything. We got woke up this morning by the cows about 7:30 going off for milking. So we had the bells of the cows and that, but hey, better that than the barking dogs we get back home. Anyway, today's plans are we've got to move on, unfortunately. We did a walk yesterday. There's a separate video for that. And yeah, we've got to a point now, unfortunately, where common problem where we need a motorhome service point. Our waste tanks are full, our water tank's more or less empty, and we need to go and top up. Now, that's one reason. The second reason is the heat wave that we've raced away from Andalusia to escape is going to finally catch us up here. It's moving up the country, and today it's going to be 28 degrees. Yesterday was 26 degrees. But tomorrow we're going to start to get into early 30s and it's going to climb for the rest of the week. So we've got to head further north up to a reservoir we've marked out. We're going to have to miss several of the places I did want to see on the route, sort of a little way south of Burgos, because the heat's going to reach that far up as well. So we've got to sort of go north of Burgos, and there's a place up there which promises to be for the next 10 days sort of mid-20s. So we're going to head up there, check out that reservoir, see what activities there are to do there. That said, we will definitely be returning to here. But anyway, before we could do that, we've got to go down to the nearest town, and this is the medieval town that we promised you we would visit, and I shall be doing some filming there. We're also going to take the opportunity to do some shopping there, empty the waste, fill up with water, and hopefully by 2 o'clock then we would have explored all the village, done all the video we want to do, and then we'll be making our way the sort of 260 kilometres up north to our next location. Okay, so we're all ready to go. We've had the motorhome warming up for 10 minutes because we're doing instantly going into a climb out the valley, so we want the oil circulating around the motor properly before we start putting it under strain. All the security cameras are down, and I think we're ready to go. So let's get on our way. Okay, so that was a success. I plotted that out on Street View, found a main road near to the sort of mini market, which had good wide parking on the side of the road. So we're going to get off to the supermarket and see if we can get a few groceries. Okay, so that worked out well, quite literally sort of 100 metres away, just round the corner. Okay, so that's part one of the plan accomplished. That went pretty easy. I'm starting to worry. So next stage is we're a bit further down this road. Hopefully there's a service station down here on our right where we can do all our services and everything on the motorhome, and then opposite there I think there's sort of a rough car park where we get parked up whilst we go and explore. Okay, so we're doing the services. We've emptied our water, we've emptied our black waste into there, and now we're doing this. This is a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest with you. You've got to keep your hand on the button, and you have to go get a €3 token, which I don't mind paying for. So it's a €3 token for the water, and you pay an additional €3 to empty the waste, so a total of €6. And I think you get 80 litres, was it, Anthea? 100 litres of water, which is more enough to fill us up at this point. So we've had a quick change of plan. Instead of doing the parking opposite the fuel station, had a load of fairground rides and things like that, some lorries. To be honest, it looks a bit scutty and a bit jippo-y, so we decided to park at another parking spot we've seen earlier, which also is a bit better because it's in the shade, and we're a lot closer to actually the places we want to see. So yeah, it's worked out good all round. So okay, let's go and explore. So we've just come around the other way. We quickly walked back to the motorhome because we wasn't sure whether we blipped it. Not that it mattered because we've got cab locks on and the doors locks are on. And we put the cameras up. We thought, well, we've got the cameras, we may as well. So we were only about 100 metres away, so we quickly popped back, and then we decided to come down this other way, which actually is a better view. That's actually the bridge you can see from the motorway. As you're going across the motorway, you just sort of look to your right, and you can see this beautiful old bridge there, and then all this 45 bit up the top here as well. Yeah, that doesn't look like an easy place to attack. So we come down to this bit. I think we're going to take a left and go see if we can get up onto these battlements. Okay, it looks like there's a way up onto the battlements here, but we're not paying for the privilege, so just climb up a set of steps. So we're going to have a look to see if it's free. If not, we'll not bother. There you go, Anthea, I'm going to put you in there if you don't behave.
It's nice and cool in there.
Yeah. So we've wandered off out of the town now, a bit quieter. I've had all the things I hate, screaming kids, barking dogs. I like the idea of going around in these built up areas, but the reality of it is no, not for me. Anyway, moaning aside, down the end of this road is meant to be a recreation area, a big huge recreation area, and I think there's probably some kayaks here as well. So obviously we're not going to be kayaking here today or even this time, but it's worth checking it out for future reference. So we've just come from that direction there. It looks like the road's wide enough and we could quite easily have got the motorhome down here, so that's worth noting for future reference. There's sort of a trail down here which you can get down and actually launch your kayak from. It doesn't look like it's private just for the hired kayaks. It looks like you can probably go with any kayak. Water looks a bit less green as well. So I think Anthea's just plodded on ahead there. We're going to just have a quick look around this little trail down here by the side of the river. And Anthea's just noticed there's another parking spot over there as well where you can park. So yeah, nice and quiet. If it wasn't so hot, or not going to be so hot as it's going to be tomorrow and the following week really, we probably would have come and done some kayaking here. Hopefully you can see that just through the trees. It looks like there's a kayak hire down there and a launching bit. Thinking about it, we were just saying if they're not stupid money, we'd probably just as well hiring the actual kayak. Save us all the hassle of setting up and wheeling them down and everything and getting in the sweat before we even started. Yeah, it's probably best just to get a rigid kayak and hire one for whatever it is, an hour or two. Yeah, definitely a good place to come in the future. So I don't think we're going to go any further. We're going to call it a day here. Have a wander back into town, back to the motorhomes. So I don't know if you can see it in the distance there. There's the kayaks over there, and we were sort of up in that wooded area just above. I say it looks a long way away, but it isn't a bad walk at all. Way down to the water here. Well, there is. That looks like a place to get in. Probably launch from down there though. There's definitely a path up there. Just saw a motorhome parked up a bit further up in this car park. We'll have a look on the way out if we go out that way. Oh yeah, I don't think that's original. So it looks like I've just spotted a way that we can actually get up onto these battlements here on the side. So we're going to have a quick look. Ah yeah, looks like we can get up here. We're just going to try and walk along these battlements up the other side a little way. If we can't see any stairs in the distance, we're not going all the way along and coming all the way back, so we'll have a quick look. See another way down yet? There's got to be, surely. Just found that corner again. Playing that game again. Are we just around that corner? Looks like we've ended up getting to the end as well, so we just have to keep our fingers crossed that we can get down and not have to walk all the way back. Are you up for jumping down? Okay. If you haven't got a mic on today, no need. I'm not going to have to jump first. She isn't going to have to land on me. We've got some steps. Brilliant. Shall we go around a little bit more, Anthea?
No.
Okay. Do you want to wait for me here? Yeah. I'm going to go around and have a look. Some chairs over there. Excellent choice, for defensive purposes back in medieval times. You can imagine it, a big loop in the river. They've got water on nearly all sides here. Just stop there. Excellent photo opportunity here. I've got the Fimi Palm Pro again today, and I've just tested for the first time the panoramic shot, you know, where it takes several photos and joins them all together. So we'll see how that comes out, and I'll put that up on the video as well. That's made someone dizzy looking down. Yeah, it's quite a long way down yet. Okay, well that's worked out quite well for us because that's the bridge we came in over there, so we're just going to go down these steps, loop back round and back to Hobbit. Just saying, back in medieval times, it looks like probably this bridge, which looks really old, probably would have been the only way actually in and out to this actual town and this castle. The bridge across the way there does look old, but I don't think it looks medieval old. No, it's nicely stone built, but I'd say that's probably late 1800s, something like that, I guess, off the top of my head. I'm going to have a look in some of the history, and I'll drop a few bits in the subtitles in when I edit. And there we are, back to Hobbit, who's now out the shade unfortunately, but he's still here, which is always a bonus. Doesn't look like anybody's tried to break in. I think we're pretty safe here, it's close to the road, good sight from the road. Guardia Civil's just up the road here a bit, so I wasn't really expecting any problems. Okay, so that's us. We're going to get on the road. We've got about 165 kilometres up the motorway, so we'll escape here before it turns into crematoria and get further north where it's a bit cooler.